Hey guys, what is going on? Lego Man 123 and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be reviewing the Lego Harry Potter Hogwarts Carriage and Thestrals set 76400. In this set there are two minifigs included and they are Harry Potter and Luna Lovegood. And both of these variants of Harry and Luna are from Order of the Phoenix or the fifth movie within the Harry Potter franchise. And I definitely think this version of Harry is probably one of my favorites because usually you just constantly get the same variant of Harry over and over again in like his Gryffindor or Hogwarts clothing, and it's really nice to see this new variant of him for the Order of Phoenix with like his dark blue jacket on over his sort of Hogwarts clothing. I definitely think that is really cool, and what I like is that you could still actually see all the details, but in just a new sort of perspective rather than just having his just whole Hogwarts clothing on. I definitely think that is a really nice variant of him. And his hairpiece is the same for like this wave of all the Phoenix sets, and his facial expression as well. He has like that sort of smile and then like that sort of a really angry grin. And his accessories are obviously his wand and a green apple, which I think in the movie Luna gives him. Now moving on to Luna. This is probably one of my favorite variants of her, but I only do have, I think, only two other variants, or maybe just one, not 100% sure, but I really like that sort of like pinkish purple color. I think that is such a unique color for Luna. And her hairpiece is the exact same from the other variants I do have, as well as her facial expressions. And she does have three accessories, but originally I thought it was only two. So the first accessory is her blue bag, which is present in the Order of the Phoenix movie, so it's really nice to actually see that. And then her wand. But then the third accessory she does have, which I didn't realize until I actually ended yesterday's video, and that is the 1x1 tile in this dark reddish color, and that is a piece of meat she actually does give the Thestral, or it might be the baby Thestral in the Order of the Phoenix movie, and I totally forgot that was actually an accessory for her because it does advertise it on the box, but it just must have slipped my mind at the time. But I definitely think it's a small but subtle detail which I think just adds so much more to the set. So now we'll take a look at what else is included within the set, and that is two builds as well as two Thestrals. So first we'll start with the Thestrals, and probably one of my favourite pieces within this set is the baby Thestral, because I just love the way it looks and how LEGO managed to actually print such small details on such a small mold, because you could see the detailing for like the sort of like scale slash like sort of spine design and like its nostrils, its eyes, as well as this really nice design for wings. And I actually thought it was actually going to be like three separate pieces with like the wings each being a piece, but it's actually a whole mold, which I think is really awesome, and it does stand up pretty nicely, but it is a little hard on carpet. But I definitely think that is such an awesome piece, and it does actually connect to Lego pieces or Lego studs. Then the next Thestral is like the adult one, and I believe the only other time we got this was in the Crimes of Grindelwald set for Fantastic Beasts, and I just think the Thestrals have such a unique design, and I love how Lego managed to do that because it just looks so awesome with the amount of detail with like the eyes, like sort of like scale slash like sort of spine. The wing design as well is really cool in like that sort of like silver black color, and I just think it looks really awesome. Now the two builds included in this set is a small build for a tree as well as the carriage itself. And we'll start with the design for the carriage because I think it just looks so accurate to when we actually do see it in the films, which I think is really nice because that did have quite an interesting and unique design, and I definitely think LEGO have been able to achieve that just with using some very simple pieces to really capture the overall design for it. I also really like how they did make it minifig scale with like the sort of like steps up to and like the sort of seating area as well. I definitely think that is really cool because they could just very easily not include like the step part and just made it sort of more movie accurate, which I'm really glad they didn't. They sort of incorporated it into like this sort of a Lego movie accurate form, which I think is really cool. But my favorite piece probably ever seen or so far in LEGO Harry Potter sets, and that is a 2x3 tile of the Quibble. I just think it looks so awesome. I love how they've been able to capture so much on such a small tile. And I just really hope we sort of get like more of these, because there's just so much more they could do. And the seating does fit quite a couple of minifigs. I think, including like the 2 seats here, I can probably fit maybe like 6 minifigs all up, which I think is definitely really cool and actually movie accurate. So they very easily sort of like sit there, like you could put another one here as well as 2 and then 2 more, which I think is really cool. And I also like how they've sort of made it sort of spacious as well. It's like the minifigs aren't all like sort of squished up, so I think that is a really nice feature as well. And I also like the different sort of parts they did use to create such a unique design. And then the tree, I must say, did have an interesting design, but I do like the overall color scheme for, with like that sort of like orangey brown color and like the dark brown and the light brown. And I also like the shape of it as well, to give such a unique tree design, rather than just getting like the same tree we did get in one of the original Harry Potter sets, which was Aragog's lair, or a similar tree design to the Umbridge's Encounter set. So I'm really glad we just get unique trees or tree designs in each of the different Harry Potter sets, rather than just recycling the same tree over and over again. And included is a design for a mushroom, as well as this orange leaf piece, and I think that is really cool. And to actually connect the Thestral to the carriage, it is really simple, which I'm really glad it is, rather than being like this whole sort of like complicated system. So on the Thestral, the instructions do show you how to actually attach this sort of part here, then to actually connect it to the carriage, and you just connect it by a ball joint like that, and it very easily sort of moves. So I think that is a really nice feature like that, and you can sort of like grab it by all different angles, but I'd probably do it like that. But I'm really glad, and like you can actually move it 360, so that's really nice. I'm really glad you're able to actually do that, rather than just having it sort of like there and like you can't really move it well, because like the Thestral sort of like getting in the way and all that. So I'm really glad they've been able to do that. So now taking a look at the packaging for this set, I believe in the unboxing, the manual only showed an advertisement, for create your own Hogwarts cast with the different modular sets, and I definitely think it looks really awesome. But like I said in the unboxing, I do prefer the Great Hall and like the Whomping Willow set, the Astronomy Tower. However, I did notice a mistake on the instruction manual on the front page. If you look closely, you can actually see this section here. It doesn't actually have like the sort of like light on like the Lego set actually does in this sort of like part here. So I just found that really interesting, like what happened there, because it's just strange, but also like just random, like how that does happen. But taking a look at the box for this set, I definitely think the box art is really awesome. It really does capture the scene within the Order of the Phoenix with Harry and Luna when they're actually feeding the Thestrals, as well as the scene when we actually first get introduced to Luna when she is on the carriage. And I definitely think that is really cool, in like the sort of like dark, sort of mysterious area in like the Forbidden Forest. I definitely think that is really cool. And the back of the box just shows you a bit more about the set. But apart from that, for $29 in Australian, I definitely think it is totally worth it, considering what you do get, especially with the baby Thestral and the Thestral, because we've only seen them, or we've only seen the Thestral one other time, and to actually get such a unique set with some really nice minifigs and some really cool builds, it is definitely worth it. So as always, guys, hope you guys did enjoy this video, and it continues. So goodbye.